Alrighty friends, we're going to be working on our winter landscapes. The first thing we're going to do is some ground, and that's going to be our horizon line. We're going to use a quick stick for this. It's a black paint stick. It's like a glue stick. You might have to twist it up a little bit to get it to work. You're going to come about a quarter of the way up the paper and do a line, a horizontal line that comes across. That horizontal line can also be wavy because it is land. And now I'm going to go from one end of the next to the paper in nice long strokes. I'm going to fill up the bottom of my paper with black because what we're creating is called a silhouette. I'm going to go in. Now, by the way, what's cool about these quick sticks is they do dry pretty fast, but they do not dry right away. So we still want to be careful not to rub our arm right up against that. The next step is we're going to be making some trees. And when you're making your trees, you want to think about variety. Maybe one's a little taller than the other. That size is going to help create some interesting. I'm using a black pastel for this. And I don't want to go right from the middle of the paper because I need room for other trees. So I'm going to come off the center a little bit, about right here, saving room for the edge of the tree too. And I'm going to do a line that goes from there. Doesn't go all the way up the page. I might even twist my paper if I need to not get my hands wet. All right, now what we're gonna do is basically looks like a long shooting arrow. So I'm gonna go in and just do a V at the top, very top of that. And I wanna be careful not to rub my hand against it because we know why it will smear. I'm now gonna do about 3 to 4 lines that are the exact same length and go in the exact same angle as those first ones. So I'm going to come 1, see how it's the same length, 2, 3. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, but I want to start from the same point as the last one. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to do another one, but for the next one, you want it to be even a little bit longer than the last 3. So this one, I'm going to come out at an angle and make this longer. And now I'm going to do 2 to 3 that are about the same length as that last one I just did. If they're a little off, that's okay. When you think about a tree, sometimes that happens. You might have branches that are a little longer than others. Now that I've done 2 of those, I'm going to come out and do one that's this long, that's even longer than those ones, and do about 2 to 3 that length. And I'm going to keep going until I get all the way to the bottom. So now that I have that first tree done, if there's anywhere I want to add some extra branches to fill it up, maybe some spaces where I could have done a few more, I'm going to go ahead and do that, but I want to make sure that that top of my tree stays shorter than the bottom. So I can go ahead, add a couple branches in between, but the bottom should be wider than the top. Now what happens if my top gets too wide? Well, what I can do is I can always make it a little longer and then just do a couple very short ones. All right, now that I have that first tree done, I'm gonna go down and do another tree over here. This one I'm gonna make a little shorter to add variety and space in my work. Same thing, I'm gonna do an arrow and then I'm gonna do 1, 2, same length. 1, 2, same length as that first one. Now I'm going to do another one, but this one's longer, and then do 1, 2, 1, 2, another one that's even longer than that one, and then 1, 2, same length. Now I'm going to go in, if there's anywhere I want to add a couple more branches, try to look to see what the length are of the branches I'm making. I can go ahead and do that. Okay, so there's my 2 trees. Now we're gonna add a little snow. When you think about snow on trees, does the snow fall on top of the branches or the bottom of them? We have to think the snow's gonna hit the top of the branches. So I'm gonna get a little snow on my a little white on my flat brush, and I'm pushing very lightly. And I'm just gonna add a little streak of snow. You don't have to do every single branch, that would be very difficult, but I'm pushing light, ballerina toes, and just adding at the very tops of those trees a little bit of white. Okay, so now that I have that done, I'm also gonna do a little snow with that flat brush just near the bottom of the ground. I'm gonna have less and less as I get farther away from that sky. Okay, so now that I have that done, I'm gonna go in, and the last thing is we're gonna do a little splatter paint. So with that brush, we're gonna wet it really good with water in order to get this to work. Dip it in my white paint, 2 thumbs under, or two fingers on top, and I'm just gonna tap it. But I'm gonna tap really gently because I don't wanna tap paint all over myself. If it's not showing up very well, get a lot more water on that brush. We can also switch to a rounded brush that soaks up a little more water and see if that makes a difference with your splatter. So moving around, less is more. Do not overdo it. Yeah, that rounded brush works a lot better. Now that I've done that, perfect. I didn't completely overdo it. I'm gonna bring this to the drying rack, holding it by the placemat.